Alright, this is my Quad D project for English. I recorded this September 28th, I think today is, Sunday. I've done this before. My computer screen, like the recorder that records my computer screen, doesn't have a mic. It broke, sadly. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm showing you my 3 stages of my idea of the Ministry of Love, because this plays an important role, a really big important role, to the book 1984. What I have here is my thoughts on the Ministry of Love. You can't tell too well, but everything is basically evenly distributed. I have to have I have a pet peeve. I need everything equally distributed. I need it that split floor plan type look. And so that is shown here. The whole entire building is really large, and I'm about to show you that in the next scene. So right here is the front of the building. I want it to be intimidating. I wanted it to be big because that's how I pictured it in the book 1984. It needs to be large and almost furious. There is a basement, so this is 30 stories of just basement. So the ground level starts here. And this is a 500-foot telescreen to view everyone in front of it, because it also incorporates into something that I'll show you later in the video. But as you can tell, it's pretty intimidating because of the spikes and the equal distribution, and then the height of it. This is showing how large it is. This is the front door. I created it 4x8-foot slabs, and there's no natural light that is getting into this building whatsoever. There's no windows and whatnot. So what we have is showing the height of the human and the largeness of the building. And then my next scene, it shows how large it is too. This is the front level of it is, let's see here, let's measure this, 1,500 feet almost, and the side level, well, the length of it is about 2,000 feet. Everywhere there will be humans working, or just human capacity basically, except these pyramids. These pyramids are just there for the looks basically, because you do not want to go to the Ministry of Love. I also incorporated into my video, into the ministry, shapes that show its meaning. Well, of course, it doesn't have the meaning of love, so I didn't want a whole entire heart to be the ministry. I wanted it to be split up to show that it's broken. The irony of the ministry is that it is made for punishment and brutality and cruelty, not of love. So that's that. Next shape I incorporated into it is a W for Winston, because Winston is the story of 1984. He is there explaining the society and the government and the parties. So here's a W, in case you can't see it, is the outline where my mouse is. And then I did not only include Winston, I included Julia. It was really difficult for me to think of how to add a J into this structure, because a J in general is just such an awkward letter to put into a building, and I figured if I put a curve in right here that it would just take away the intimidating look and make it like a round-ish object, which I did not want. But after I added the J in there, the curve in there to make the J, I thought it looked great, and it made the building look better. Also, what we have here is the lower levels. This is all underground. This is basement, as I said before. 30 stories under basement. This is where room 101 is. Every kind of torture room you can think of, every kind of interrogations. Well, interrogations are on the first level. I'll show you later in the video, but this all room 101, all torture device, all methods, everywhere. You did not want to go there. The next scene I'm going to show you is the floor plan, which are the hearts of the building, the insides, the blueprints, everything in yellow. So I figured everything in this yellow section here is Thought Police Academy, because there has to be somewhere for the Thought Police to observe and do what they do. You know, they have to learn and how to get into citizens' minds so good. And that's why I included this 500-foot telescreen, because they have to, like, observe, you know. They have to have hardcore evidence to get into people's minds. So everything in here is like the Thought Police Academy. Everywhere, like, they train to do what they do. And then what we have in these label sections on each side, where it's labeled prisoners, is basically, you know, prisoners that come in and out. Well, not in and out, because you basically go in and you're gonna die to learn to love the party before you die. But, so, these are prisoners, and this cell is 500 feet by... Okay, so 500 feet by 300 feet, which is going to include a lot of prisoners. I didn't want to make each individual cell because that's just a lot of work and a lot of copying and pasting, that's just a lot of work. I can't include that many bars into such an enormous amount of space. And these prisoners are prisoners such as that just did something simple, like in the book where Winston's friend's daughter caught him for talking badly of Down with Big Brother in his sleep. This is where those kind of prisoners go, and where Winston went as well. But after a while, let's get back here so I can zoom in better. After a while, Winston went to this different type of cell that had warm water and was a bit cleaner, and where he had enough room to exercise and it was just himself. This is like where I call the long-term prisoner cells, and it's just cleaner and better than the normal ones. It's not better by much, but it's better for him after you've been in there for so long. Now, as you can tell, there's a difference in wall thickness. Where the prisoners will be, the wall thickness is 15 feet. I made it 15 feet because, well, if you're a prisoner, you have nothing to do except hate, basically. All you're gonna do is hate, like, while you're there, and you're just going to think about life, and you're going to want to rebel in some way. And if everyone wants to riot, well, it's going to be it's going to be more difficult to get through a 15-foot wall than as of in here is where I wanted to incorporate the office space. Office areas and where records are going to go is going to be in here, where basically, so records are going to go in here. Sorry about that. And that's just office work, and that's why these have only 1 foot walls, 1 foot thick walls, and these have 15. I put 15 foot thick walls in the police academy area as well, because just in case, and to make it more equally distributed. Now, in these non-labeled areas, in here, this little triangle, I pictured smoke coming out of the building at some point, and I was like, if there's going to be a lot of people dying in this building for thought crime, then there has to be a place where they basically get burned. And incorporating my image of smoke coming out of the building at some point and people dying, these are like infirmary areas where they basically toss the dead body in, and it becomes, you know, smoke and vaporized, basically. And then these rooms right here are interrogation rooms, where people will be questioned for their thought crime and how they think about life, and then, you know, before the revolution and during the revolution, where people are going to learn to love the party and the society and the government. This is where all the interrogation is, where all the bad stuff happens, where they get beat up and stuff. But this is the floor plan, lastly, and then the 3D perspective, show you all different kind of angles, and then lastly just my simple first thoughts of trying to create such a ministry. And that's it. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed it.